Hey everybody, it's Gilly Monster. I'm back, and this is actually the 5th episode of Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine. And just on a whim, I decided to look it up and really see if this game was actually considered canon, which, disappointingly, it is not. I'm not exactly sure why. I just looked it up, and the general consensus is that it does not fit within the Warhammer 40,000 universe. But that said, I'm still going to finish. Ooh. I'll take it. Okay, so basically, las cannon is it's essentially like a sniper rifle version, like just upgunned quite a bit. So, but anyway, as I was saying, this game is not considered canon. I think it's more about what happens based on different clues that everybody looks at, and just I don't know. Like I said, I'm not one of the people who can dig this stuff out. And another big ugly dude. Imagine that. Orks apparently, in addition to having, that is the effectiveness of a las cannon. But orks, in addition to being able to essentially be born with an innate ability to do whatever their job is, apparently they also perform almost like, I don't know, like a field of, if they all believe it, will exist. If that makes sense. Oh, where are you at? Because I don't like rifle guys, but so they literally, like, their guns and their spaceships and their weapons, like in the hands of like a normal person, won't work, but because they all take because they all basically take part in the same belief, they're literally will their weapons and their vehicles to work. Las cannon?
It's a fight now.
No, it's really not. Not yet, anyway. So I'm starting to get into some of the bigger, more powerful weapons in this as the story continues to progress. What is that? Okay, yeah, I'll stick with what I got for now. Once again. So I talked a little bit earlier about some of the multiplayer stuff that was a bit. Oop, never mind. I'll get back to that in a minute. Get out of the way! Jeez. It's no wonder. God forbid the Space Marines are actually that stupid. Shoot you in the head. Literally powerful enough to vaporize the guy, like, wholesale. And close the distance a bit. Come on. I'll vaporize you guys wholesale. I do not care. Don't bother actually killing these guys. Just pump a couple of bolts in them and walk past. I do wish the AI of my guys was a little bit more effective. Not too much. It's not great. I don't know what you expected. Wait, what? I said, oh, ow. Oh boy. I will wipe you guys out wholesale once again. You guys want to keep coming up?
those humans!
Another glitch. And ammo is always a good thing. No, I want my last cannon back. Honestly, for me, weapons, like, the bigger they are, the harder they hit, the better, because you only have to get one good shot in order to actually be effective. Like that. Okay, where are you, big ugly one? Oh, well, no point in wasting a lasbolt now. That's how powerful this thing is. Like, that's how hard it hits. I'm just gonna hang back here real quick. Really, dude? Come on. Come on. Jumping match. Yummy. Ow. That guy dead? I think he's dead.
Source in a weapon that exploits the very weaknesses of our alien foe.
Tech priests will have to bring all of these structures down and rebuild.
This time on top of a mass grave.
Man. One of the things I do is I watch a show called Ghost Adventures on Travel Channel, and usually they have the most haunted areas are in like grave sites and graveyards and churches. So I'd hate to think about how haunted this place could be. Stop shooting me. How haunted this place would be after sustaining so many casualties. Not just humans, but orcs too. Like literally in the tens of millions. Yeah, make sure I'm not gonna root.
Evacuation center Gamma well. Crematoria 15 to 48 are operating
Okay.
at full capacity.
How everything looks like deliberately overbuilt.
Inquisitor Drogon, we need to get you off planet before we're overrun by orcs.
You were exposed to the unshielded power source. In the generator room, I saw it. You held raw energy from the warp. How are you still alive?
The power source conducts warp energies.
The stuff of chaos. Heresy.
My work against the Xenos has the Imperium's blessing.
Can your blessed work help us against the orcs?
My research is of the utmost secrecy. The Imperium forbids its use without sanction.
Yet more orcs.
Consider that your Imperial sanction.
Very well. The power source fuels an experimental weapon at my research facility. The Psychic Scourge. It could destroy the orcs.
You didn't think to bring up this scourge weapon before.
The Psychic Scourge has never been test-fired, Sergeant. If it malfunctions, it could crack this planet in half.
We're out of options. We fire the weapon and take our chances.
I wonder how loud Space Marines really are, because they seem pretty soft-spoken in normal conversation.
The Calcus facility, my research laboratories. It is a fair distance. We will need transportation.
Captain, we aren't far from the plaza where Lieutenant Mira was headed. The Imperial Guard rally point.
They will have Valkyries. We can fly to the research facility. Let's find this Imperial Guard outpost.
I'm surprised my computer's doing as well with this game as it is. Aside from a couple of audio glitches here and there, I mean, it's handling it pretty well, I think. Everybody dead? Why am I so slow? Try to keep these humans alive. Ow. That's how quickly things can go south if you get overwhelmed in this game.
Drogon's alive. I can't believe we survived that.
No, I think it might be the first time I've ever actually protected them.
Your wound is slowing us down.
I can manage.
Brothers, take him to the Valkyries. I will draw the orcs off and meet you there.
Give the power source to the sergeant then, Captain.
No, Drogon. The orc chieftain wanted the power source. When his orcs see I possess it, not you, they will follow me. Move out.
Which route to the rally point, Guardsman?
Bastion Primus is that way, my lord. But it's all orc-held territory.
How good that, I don't think their fire would hurt me, but I'd rather not tempt it. That's why I dove out of the way, in case they decided to try and nail that orc. Alright, moving out.
Do not bring personal possessions to public evacuation centers.
I like the plasma pistol a lot more than the bolt pistol, just because it seems a lot more effective. I mean, it doesn't run out of ammo, it's got the little charge function. All you gotta worry, all you gotta worry about is making sure it, make sure it gets a chance to cool off every now and then. Now that hammer is retardedly huge. Okay, yep, pretty much the... Yeah. Got ammo. Who wants to play?
Welcome to Evacuation Center Omega. You will receive rations of water and food. You will be protected except weapons.
Shoot those humans!
Dead yet? Yeesh. I wonder if you could like translate that to any sort of like force. Like, what would that actually be equivalent to? Getting hit by this thing. Because this is like the same thing as the power axe,
Whatever you're
only
doing,
it's like a
Captain,
sledgehammer
keep at
version.
it. The greenskins are swarming your way, leaving our path open.
Well, hopefully they're following me, because that was the idea, I think. Okay. And they love. Golf swing. Ow. But yeah, you can see my health is draining. Like, this game really will overwhelm you very quickly if you're not careful. Thankfully, if you can time execution just right.
It's a fight now.
Ah. Stab you with your own staff, punk.
Time to.
Oof. Thankfully, getting rid of the orc version of what's called a psyker, or like what Drogon is you get rid of him and he basically, his brain explodes and takes all the other orcs with him. Because the same way they will their weapons and their machines to work, the psykers draw the power from all the orcs around him, so it's almost like they're all connected by an invisible telephone wire. Not gonna play around with these guys. They dead?
I am an instrument of the Emperor's will, Trooper. Now indicate to me the nearest concentration of orcs.
Aye, my lord. Master's Plaza is just past this hab complex. It is swarming with the beasts.
Not for long.
I'd imagine the Space Marines get a grim satisfaction from the work that they do, and the fact that they get to take out something that's so dangerous. Especially considering they train pretty much their entire lives to do this.
Captain, we are within sight of the Imperial Guard bastion.
Kill them Space Marines! Space Marine!
Even just the force of him impacting the ground. curb stomp. Ain't done that in a little bit. Execute this guy. Break your face. Usually when you play the multiplayer, they broke it up into classes that are actually fairly similar to what you can do. I mean, you've got the like the typical infantry types. You have the heavies. You had actually jetpacks. And these guys, of course, were armored with melee. And usually, if jeez, where are all these guys coming from? And usually if you came up against an enemy player, come on. See, his brain is actually exposed. And then everybody drops dead instantly. At least all the bigger guys do. That was it. I was wondering why so many were, why they're taking so long. But okay, moving on. Oh, why that thing's still going. I wish you could jump, like, normally.
Out of fuel.
Conveniently enough. That's okay, I'll stick with the hammer, though. At least I can keep that.
This is Primus Command. Orcs inside the perimeter. Move to secondary defense positions and hold the line.
Okay.
Welcome to Bastion Primus, Captain. Sergeant Sedonis briefed me about the Inquisitor and his doomsday weapon. He said you require air transport to the Calcis facility.
Your Valkyries are the fastest way to reach it, and we have no time to spare.
Your men are already on board their Valkyrie, and the squadron's ready for liftoff. We'll get you to Calcis with all speed. It's time the Imperial Guard brought the fight to the orcs.
I agree. Okay. Okay, so I think that's actually where I want to call this particular episode. I'll leave it as kind of a cliffhanger, give you guys something to look forward to. Hey, it's episode 5 so far. Everything's going, I'd say, pretty good for one of my playthroughs. Something a little bit more, I guess, continuous rather than just doing individual like Kerbal Space Program videos or Gundam videos or something like that. Just a little bit more continuity, I guess. But after having looked at the Valkyries, I think I found where I'm going to do my next Kerbal Space Program video. So I just need to try and find a, not a hull cam, I already found a hull cam mod, but actual camera tools feature. So we shall see. In the meantime, I will see you all in episode 6.